Hey, all right, looks like we live. Hey everybody, we just popping up. Just popping up. It's your girl Lashay. And you know how we do. Here talking that betterism because we just always worried about getting better at getting better, right? Anyways, we're doing a pop-up segment today. I got my homie, my good friend, Mr. Bobby Smith, Mr. Fruit Up himself. We just popping through. This really isn't a structured discussion. We just come in here. We're just bringing our energy. It's a beautiful Sunday, and we're just here to just talk about being better, about making changes, about pivoting, about changing our minds, about doing all the things, right? So, anyways, I'm about to bring them on. Okay, how I do this? Because I'm still new to all of this all this stuff.
What up? What up? What up? What up?
Hey, what's good? How are you?
Excellent, excellent. Glad to be here. Glad to be on your platform for a change.
Right?
Yes,
Facts. You two
awesome.
used to being in charge, like you was already uncomfortable talking about so how we doing this and like you was already muting yourself and taking yourself off the screen, like pipe it down, homie.
Hey, I'm used to playing that role. So I'm comfortable doing that. But I'm comfortable in any role. I'm ready to get it popping. How you
I hear
feeling?
you. I'm well. I'm doing good. Like honestly though, you know where I was this time last year. I was depressed. Like it's just not that. It's just not that. I'm happy, I'm smiling, and it's like genuine, right? You do
Facts.
so much work on yourself, you create so much for yourself, and it's just amazing how they say like let go and let God. That's what I feel like I have been doing, just letting go and letting God, trust in the process, doing what needs to be done, handling what is in front of me, not really focusing on anything that I don't have control of, and just not worried about what other people have to say.
Facts.
And based on that alone, your girl's pumping. Like,
It is a big difference this year than last year. The energy different though. Like, I feel more. I don't know. It's like mature. Like last summer was so energetic and so crazy that this year I've just been focused on doing so many things that the summer just flew by. You know what I'm saying? Like it's crazy how fast this summer went by. But last year, remember when you went on your hiatus, right?
mm-hmm.
Who your hiatus was encouraged by me.
Yeah.
Because at that time I was exhausted. I told my group one time, I remember I was sitting in the car selling watermelon juice. I'm like, ain't nobody buying it.
I remember that. Your
I'm
ass
like,
went outside and made a whole bunch of watermelon and did like a little lemonade stand before
facts.
watermelon. But you
Yeah,
know what? You did what you had to do. Like I can't even be mad at that. But it's like it. Sometimes we do certain things that make us look at our lives.
I'm telling you because it's like that position though that I was in, I'm grateful for it because it led me to where I'm at. Like that, everything we do, you got to be grateful for. Like that's why I say ain't no such thing as failure or nothing in life like that. Ain't no such thing as not. It's only a such thing as not doing enough.
Right.
Or not doing your best. But as far as all that, what we was going through, we in such better places because we took the time to work on ourselves, and you definitely been killing it. Like, got the show going on, group.
Thank
What you think about the summer overall?
I think the summer has been very transformative. I feel a bit more enlightened. I feel like I have stepped out of fear and more into courage. Honestly, they say, what do they say? Birds who What they say something about flocking together?
Birds
What
of
was,
a birds of a feather flock together.
yeah, there we go. I couldn't even think about it. So, right, you
Uh,
know, we've all grown in our own ways and we've grown apart in ways, right? But it's because we're focusing more on ourselves. And no matter what, like being witness to your growth, watching how much energy you're putting into being a better version of yourself, like seeing you get up every day early as hell in the gym, working with Nita, both of y'all out here putting in that work, that energy, seeing you transform in front of our eyes, not only just physically, but the mental shifts and just other people around me and me personally making my own moves and reprioritizing what's important and really putting my energy behind that and being intentional in different ways, just getting up every single day and just being consistent and then having the courage to start my show, to invest in it, to get a sign, to just like not even really know what the hell I'm doing, but just like straight up doing it anyway, like not really caring about what people think, not overthinking it, just doing it. Something doing that, being courageous. I'm sorry, it's so loud in my background. Being courageous it feeds your soul, it feeds your spirit, it makes it easy for you to be proud of yourself. It gives you confidence and it actually gives you a sense of fulfillment. And that's what I'm feeling like. I'm feeling fulfillment because I'm creating something. I think creating a podcast, doing something that you're actually in alignment with, doing something that makes you feel good about yourself, something that you are naturally talented at, and don't even do it for money. Do it because it makes you feel good to do it. And I'm telling you, there's something about doing something that makes you feel good about doing it because you have a talent for it, because it makes you feel good. It feeds you in a certain kind of way. It gives you purpose. Doing things like that every single day outside of your regular day job, it makes you happy. And that was something that I was missing. It taps you into that childlike energy. It helps you have fun.
Facts.
And that is what I've been doing. Like I've been creating and it's been helping me have fun. It's been giving me something to get up to go to work for. Now I look forward to working my regular mundane day job that I didn't have too much passion for, because now I get to look forward to spending that money on investing it into what I love doing, which is like the podcasting now and creating something. And now I'm going to be traveling and doing all these things to bring it
Mm-hmm.
all together. So I really encourage people to tap in to what it is you genuinely love to do, no matter what it is. Don't think about how you can monetize it. Just think about what you love doing and do it.
That's what's gonna monetize. What you love to do will monetize because you're gonna love doing it. You know what I'm saying? So one thing about this, and I want to talk about your plans that you got coming up too. But one thing, then you say uh you feel really good right now, right? Like you feel like really good. I've done 36 days of oranges. I've done 108 days of watermelon. I don't even know how many days of watermelon I just did. I really don't. I've been having such a good time this summer that don't really nothing else matter but the self progression. So the way I feel going like right now compared to how I felt last year, me knowing mentally how I felt last year and only me knowing how I felt mentally last year, I'm 10,000 steps ahead of that mentally. So it's been a fantastic summer. Watermelon washout, it's been crazy. The Fruit Up Till 5 group that I had in April, that's what it started with, the Fruit Up Till 5. I've been live every day since 7 a.m. since April. Every single day. You said like you love doing this work. You love doing this work. Do you see the amount of work that we're putting in? Like it's insane. And people wonder like, where do you get the energy from? Where do you get the energy from? It's from focusing on self, getting up, going to the gym. I'm the gym changed my life now. I encourage everybody to get up and move. It ain't gotta be at the gym. You know, like a lot of my walks and stuff come in nature. A lot of my walks come in nature. So it's been a good ride. It's been a good ride compared to last summer. You know, a different vibe. But other than that, I feel like I've made more progression this summer than last summer.
You know what? Your gym journey, your fitness journey, that's super inspiring. I was just saying earlier today, like September, I'm gonna go and get me a gym membership again. Because one thing I refuse to do is go and buy another gym membership and not go to the gym. So I would
Mm,
much rather not delude myself and not sit here and act like I'm gonna do something just because I went and paid for it. Because that is something historically I have been guilty of. This time around, I'm not doing that. If I'm going to put my money into something, I'm going to put my energy into it,
mm,
right? So for September, I do intend to get more focused on my fitness journey and in other things. I'm not going to say everything because I'm at this stage in my life where I don't like announcing anything. Who I'm seeking to validate is myself. So a lot of things that I'm working on will be done in silence and in private. And what's going to happen is those who are a part of my journey, those who are a part of my platform, they're going to naturally see the change. They're going to see the shift. They're going to see the results. But I'm not in the business of announcing and talking about what I'm doing anymore. Like, because I used to do that to be like something to hold me accountable. I shouldn't be held accountable by others. I should be in a place in my life where I'm accountable by my own word to myself. Self validation is the only validation we should be seeking. And a lot of times we always are looking outside of ourselves to stay motivated for results. And for me personally, that has not worked. If anything, that just has made me look like the most inconsistent person in the world because I've said I was going to do a lot of shit I didn't do. But
mm.
we done with that. You know, so now I've pivoted from embarrassing myself to really only caring about what my opinion of myself is. So your journey, your fitness journey is actually extremely inspiring because I know where you came from. Like you was more heavy on the food. You was more heavy on fruit up, only eating fruits, but there wasn't a lot of physical exercise. But now I'm starting to see you doing the fruits and the exercise. It's a
Right.
natural progression. You know, it wasn't perfectionism from the beginning. It was just like this is where I'm at right now. And now you've leveled it up and it's dope to see, and I'm starting to actually see you fill in. I'm starting to see it, you know what I mean? So it's like really dope to watch in real time. So I do look forward to adding that physical component in. Like I've been walking and stuff, I haven't been like lazy and not getting any movement in at all, but
Right.
I haven't been lifting weights. Like I actually have started doing some Pilates on the low, so my core, we working on it. You know, I'm not weak. Niggas got some other, but we can do
Hey, in fact, you
better.
know what? No, it's been this journey is incredible. Like a lot of people don't realize. A lot of people don't realize I just started not too long ago, and that's why I came out with the urgency. I came out like fruit up, fruit up, fruit up. But let me tell y'all this, real talk. One thing I've ran a lot of groups. I've been a part of a lot of challenges. I've been in other people challenges, and there's a lot of challenges out there now. Um, how many days of watermelon did you say you would go commit to?
Initially, I said I was only doing 2 weeks, and I end up doing more than 2 weeks collectively. I did about I number one, I did 22 days of just watermelon juice. Um, and before that, I did 13 days of all watermelon. Um, and before that, I can't necessarily remember how many days, but I did like maybe a half of a month of just like all fruit in general. So most of the summer I have been all fruit and then mostly high watermelon. And I've transitioned out of that. Like I'm high fruit at this point, and I'm eating lots of salads, lots of greens, lots of raw food. I'm even still eating some cooked food. I've got some quinoa, whole food, plant based. I'm doing quinoa, chickpeas, just like whole foods. And I'm feeling really good. Like I'm healthy. I haven't had any symptoms in my body. And now I'm moving a lot more. But September, I do intend to have another cycle of considering joining Orville Douglas's Fruit Feast. So, and that's just for me because it's a new season. It's just a way to start a new quarter of the year. Um, with the exercising, and it's just part of challenging in between the shifts.
Indeed. One thing I noticed over the summer is, which is a huge mental problem, I think, for a lot of people, mental block. Um, they say they're gonna do this, they don't do it, they feel bad. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, I'll just the that's what we dealing with. I don't think I'm subscribing to 100-day challenges and stuff like that no more. The
Mm-mm.
reason why I say I'm not gonna do that is because I've done it and I see what works and I see what don't. The, I even when I did my 108 days of watermelon, it wasn't a 108-day challenge with a group of people. So this summer, I see a lot of people going in and they're struggling after they get out of the challenge. They go back into the abyss. Like the challenge wasn't up for no reason. So I'm trying to come up with something to where we get people into like more so just improving eating skills because it start there. Like we got to
Better
start
with
people improving.
better. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to be 100% of everything. Like, yeah, you can challenge yourself. Here's the thing about doing these long-term challenges. You can do a 100-day challenge. Don't be disappointed if you aren't doing 100 days in a row. Just know that you probably will do 11 days in a row. That's a win because that's something you wouldn't have done if you didn't challenge yourself to begin with. If you do 20 days in a row, if you do 10 days in a row, 11 days in a row, 12, 13 days in a row, and between those 100 days on and off, you winning because you wouldn't have done that shit otherwise. So,
Right.
like that perfectionism be getting people. And then when they so called have a slip up, they sitting here getting down on themselves. They announcing it. You can see it in their face. They all sad and shit. Like, bruh, like you shouldn't be losing your spirit because you ate some other kind of food that you've been eating your whole entire life, even though you actually took a break from eating like that and now you finally starting your journey. People got to realize transitionism is transitioning from your whole life of eating a certain kind of way into becoming who you want to be, how you want to eat. But it is a transition. It's not something you're going to do overnight. It's not something you're going to be perfect at. It's not something you should be beating yourself up over when you go back to your old ways, because your old ways is your automatic nervous system being your automatic nervous system. Your automatic nervous system, our minds, you know what? Our bodies become the mind because everything that our minds have told our body to do over the course of a lifetime is what the body is going to do automatically. So when your higher self, your consciousness puts you in a place where you are shifting and where you are pivoting and where you are practicing new habits, yes, you are practicing a new habit, but that doesn't mean that you're going to be perfect just because you just started. Yeah, you was perfect for 10 days, you was perfect for 20 days, you was perfect for 2 days or 3 days. But when you shift off of that and go back to your old ways, that's just your body being where your body has always been. That doesn't mean there's anything wrong with you. Like that means that you are transitioning, you are in the process. And the problem is that a lot of people feel bad when they slip up, when they're like doing a challenge, is because they start to identify with the slip up. They start to identify with the so-called failure or the so-called mistake. Stop identifying yourself with a mishap. Okay, all it is an experience. It is not who you are. It doesn't define who you are. It doesn't make you weak. It doesn't make you dumb. It doesn't make you lazy. It doesn't make you an excuse maker. No, it makes you someone who is subject to human conditions, which is addiction. We get addicted to how we have been eating, especially since there are those malicious aspects to our life, to
Right.
our society. There are actual scientists who are paid by corporations, and there are billions of dollars of research poured into how to make people addicted to food like products, which are really drugs. So it's so much deeper than we know. There's nothing wrong with us. We are just products of our environment and products of our society. But once we know better, now we're learning how to do better. But it takes time. We have to stop saying we're going to do something. Yeah, it's okay to commit and to say we're going to do something and try to be headstrong in the process. But there is absolutely nothing wrong with you when you make a mistake. No, you just had an experience, and that experience is part of the evolutionary journey. So please stop with that shit. Stop with that getting all sad, having puppy eyes, like your whole energy's drained because like it ain't that deep.
That's because it's a literal lowering of the vibration. Like I tell people this all the time. When you ride in the higher fruits and then you eat something that you know you're not supposed to eat, it literally lowers your vibration. That's why you feel that way. But it's okay in a sense. The objective, I see, like we talking about mastering implementation, right? How do you master implementation, Bobby? The objective is to get up and do the same thing every single day. If you like, think about this. If I say get up every single day and eat fruits, right? And then you get up every single day, you eating fruits, and then by noon you start struggling to eat the fruits. Then you eat something else. Then you have a day of where you just go crazy the whole day, right? Say that happen. What do you do? The next day you get up and do it again. Like the get back on it is stronger than you think. It's way stronger than you think. You gotta it getting back on it helps you get over what you did the previous day. That's it. The problem is a lot of people don't get back on it. So and if you don't get back on it, what you gotta do? Get back on it.
Facts. And hey, you know what? I'm reading Dr. Joe Dispenza's book, Becoming Supernatural, and he talks about how a lot of people get stuck because they're always either in the future or they're in the past. And what we have to do is learn how to be in the eternal now, not just in the now, but in the eternal now, because now is eternal. The future is the future and the past is the past. So people are always sad and depressed because they're in the past. So they're depressed because they think about the fried chicken they ate yesterday or the fried chicken they ate 2 days ago. You cannot uneat the fried chicken, period.
Facts.
So you might as well be in the now and think to yourself and stop judging yourself for what you did because you didn't do anything wrong. All you had was an experience. The only reason why we get so emotionally attached to the things that we do is because we don't know how to not judge ourselves for stuff that we do. We don't know how to forgive ourselves if we do make a so-called mistake. So the only way it ever becomes something we have to forgive ourselves for is because we told ourselves we were going to do it. And because we told ourselves we were going to do it and we didn't do it, now it's like our body is having a conflict with our spirit. So now you just like in this tension or this friction with the actions that you set out for yourself and the actions that you actually did. So now you have to forgive yourself. Say, okay, I didn't honor my word. I forgive myself because you have to do that in order to move on. So
Facts.
now you forgave yourself, right? Now you have to realize I'm not perfect. Matter of fact, I'm not saying I'm going to do anything. What I'm going to do is just be in the now. And the decisions that I make right now, I'm going to be conscious about the decisions that I make right now. And like if you end up doing something that goes against what you want to do, what you believe your values are, just learn from it. Stop judging yourself. And really, that's what it boils down to. Stop judging yourself for what you do, because we're not here to be perfect. We're just here to have experiences, learn, and evolve beyond those experiences. But we stay stuck and we're unable to evolve and we're unable to learn when we're constantly in the past. Learn how to be here and present, because while you so focused on what you did wrong, you literally have an opportunity right now to make it right. And there's
Fact.
nothing fucking stopping you besides you not being able to get out of your head.
It's so crazy how that's an evolutionary, like that you got to evolve that. That's a part of a process. Like if I the way I get over things is I feel like it's a superpower. You know what I mean? Like I don't deal with it if I can't control it. I can't control something that I did yesterday. All I can do is not do it again or go further, go in a better direction. So this is definitely when you talking about evolving as a eater, as a not even it's not even about fruitarianism. Fruitarianism is the highest form of eating on the planet. And when you have to desire to eat that way. Like you can't. I've been telling people the entire summer, fruitarianism is the hardest sale on the planet. Not only is the hardest sale, people it's got the most resistance towards it. It's the diet with the most resistance. So not only do you have to fight yourself every single day, you got to fight those people around you who don't even want you eating that way.
Yeah, they're violently opposed to you doing it because it makes them uncomfortable that you are doing something that I feel like on a subconscious level they know is probably what they should be doing.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, your future results, you're thriving, like they'll literally wish death on you for doing it. They're
Mm-hmm.
literally telling you you're going to get diabetes, you're going to die, you're going to wither away, you're lacking essential nutrients, you're this, you're that. Like people love to project these the death wish on us for choosing to eat what God has put here on this planet, because they know that what they're doing ultimately isn't any good for them. And it's so funny how like the people who are so violently and vehemently against people just eating God's food, when you observe them and you look at their profile photos, they're usually like smoking in the profile picture. They usually got a bottle of poison in their hand. It's just so crazy in that sense. But eating this way, it's not even like we're trying to eat this way perfectly. All we're saying is just like, you know what, like I need to make sure that this supersedes anything else that I put inside of my body. I'm not saying I'm not gonna ever eat any cooked food. I'm not ever going to eat anything processed. I'm not ever going to, but I'm just saying that I'm avoiding eating that stuff most of the time because this is what is best for me. So it's already, like you said, hard enough
Right.
to live this lifestyle just for ourselves. You have people who are triggered by how we live.
I see you uh ruffled some feathers on the post on a reel about the chicken. Um, can you please tell me what you call chicken?
So it wasn't chicken, it was pork.
Oh, was it pork?
It was pig. It was pig. It wasn't pork. What is pork? What is that? What is a pork? It's a pig, right?
Facts, facts,
It's a pig. What is
facts.
bacon?
Pig, pig. Yeah,
Yes, it's a pig. So we deceive ourselves. We delude ourselves. We market. We market, right? We
facts.
market terms to desensitize our human nature from what we are doing, right? So what you're doing is you're eating a slaughtered dead animal. You're eating a slaughtered dead pig. I don't care how much you love it. I don't care how good it tastes to you. I don't care if you raised it yourself. I don't care. Like, number one, I don't come for nobody. When in that video, I wasn't coming for nobody. I was talking about food addiction. And I was talking to people who are meat eaters who don't want to be meat eaters anymore, but they're having a hard time coming from it because they're addicted to it, because they're accustomed to it, because that's how they live, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I wasn't coming for no one. I don't judge people for how they live. I used to eat pork. When my mom used to make chitlins, I ain't gonna lie. I was one of them kids that ate every goddamn thing. I ate chitlins. I ate them and I loved them and I put hot sauce on that bitch. Like I liked chitlins. But I didn't even have the connection that they were intestines. I didn't know. All I know is that they were being prepared, they were being made, and when I ate them, they tasted good and I ate them.
Right. Right.
Okay. So I'm not judging nobody for doing what they do. I understand and I understand that everybody is at their own level of life right now. They're all in their own journeys and they're all at their own level in their own journeys. I get it. I'm not judging nobody for what they choose to eat. But at the same time, don't come for me for calling it what it is. At the
Right.
end of the day, it ain't bacon. It's a dead animal. It's a dead animal that you carved up and it's flesh. And you had to kill that animal in order to consume it. You had to slaughter it in order to consume it. So an animal's life had to be sacrificed for you to have something that you love to eat because it tastes good. I don't care how that triggers you, but I didn't offend you. I didn't offend you by saying that. You got offended, period. There were people who really came for me, tried to really come for me, like really tried to come for me. Like, no, I
Yeah.
didn't do nothing to you. I didn't say nothing about you. All I was talking about was the pig and how it's prepared. And then I talked about the chicken. You right, because chicken was brought up. It was a
Yeah.
chicken. A chicken egg is an egg's ovulation. So you're not eating a bacon, egg, and cheese. You're eating a dead pig. You're eating an egg's ovulation. And you're eating the secretions of a cow. That's what a bacon, egg, and cheese is. And let's
That.
just call it what it is because that's what it is. Why is telling the truth so triggering?
Mm. You know what though? It's crazy how people don't look at that stuff. Like even with like beef. Like beef is a cow. Like all of these things, what they call lamb meat, gyro meat, or something.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's all disguised as something else. But I seen a reel today where they said the people eat 75 billion chickens per year. 75 billion. And what was we talking about with Adama Alaji?
Oh
How
yeah, Adama
we
Elijah. She talks about this. She talks about how we live in a death culture. You know how we have to eat the souls. We have to eat the souls of these sentient beings who have spirits. They want to live. They don't want to die. Um, she says it's a genocide. It's not just only a genocide of human beings, but it's a genocide of the animal life.
facts.
Like, so I didn't even get into this lifestyle for the animals. I don't even call myself or consider myself a vegan. I just think that the animals benefit from my lifestyle, but I'm plant-based. I didn't come in here um because of ethical reasons or for the I came in for my own health because a lot of vegans, they care more about animals welfare than they care about their own health because they eat a whole bunch of crappy processed food. They still get cancer too. They still live standard American diet lifestyle and all of that. But Tiger Carper is funny because some lady really did inbox him and write him a whole ass book about me.
What about that? About that real?
No, about watermelon because I was doing a watermelon washout and saying it was dangerous for me to be promoting that and this and that. I blocked her. And because I blocked her, she hit up Tiger.
Hey, that's crazy. You know what? A lot of people been throwing shots at the watermelon washout. A lot of people been saying you shouldn't be eating watermelon. Y'all shouldn't be eating one fruit and all of this. And watermelon is for broke people. And I heard all the time. Hey, That goes to show you. Don't that go to show you they do not want you eating this stuff? They do not want us eating fruit, y'all. Please continue to fruit up. Please continue to do what you do at a high level. Please continue to get up and do your best and strive towards the opposition. These people do not want us leveling up. Every time we try to do something great, here they come with this outlandish opinion of theirs. Watermelon, you shouldn't be eating all watermelon. Didn't Kev Ramon eat 160 days of watermelon? Didn't Bobby Smith eat 108 days of watermelon? Aren't we still here thriving? Ain't Kev Ramon still like on day like number 80 something right now? Like, let's stop playing like the mind games and stuff. Like, it's literally just time to get up and do better and make better choices. And for the people who going against what we doing, it's okay. It's going to continue. What can you control every single day is what you should be focused on. That's why I teach. I don't even teach eating. I don't help nobody learn how to eat. Like, as much as I talk about fruit up, what I do ain't helping people how to learn how to eat. I teach people with mindset. Mindset work. That's it. Everything's a mindset. Eating is a mindset.
Listen, if Google tell you it ain't good for you, do it. Do it. I'm so tired of Google misinforming people. Everything they tell you is harmful for you. Like, they don't even, most of the people who tell you what not to do have never even done it themselves.
Facts.
I'm sorry, but I thought science was experimentation. If you're supposed to experiment, you're supposed to go through the science. What do they call that? It's a, I can't even remember. It's been so long since I've been in school. But all I do know is they tell you that you are supposed to go through a process. You're supposed to do it first and then see what happens, and then you're supposed to keep doing it to see if the same results keep showing up with each study.
Hey, tell Tiger, what up? My bad. I was
I
just
told
thinking about.
Tiger to pop in. I just sent him a link. I don't know if he's able to.
I told Tiger, when we talking about, I told Lashay, let's talk about if people are supposed to be eating meat or animals. Are people supposed to eat the animals? Not like literally, are chickens, did God or the Most High or whoever y'all like to call it, did they make chickens for people to eat? Are animals here for us to consume? Because that's the argument right here. Like, people, it's not about if it's bad for you or not. Is it, are they supposed to be eating? Like, are you supposed to eat animals?
Or is it ethical to eat something that has life in it? They're sentient beings, right? So imagine if there was a consciousness higher than human beings. Imagine if there was a giant consciousness. They were human beings, but they were giants. Like, they overlord over us. They're bigger than us and they're stronger than us. We really can't control them, right? Imagine that. Imagine if they like to eat people. So they took humans and they bred humans so that they could create enough for them to eat. Is that any different from what we do to animals?
No, I
I
would
don't
say
think.
not. I would say not, but there's a lot of argument out here that said people say in the Bible, God say the animals are for us to eat and all of that. So I
No,
don't.
it said God said that I don't think he said to eat. I don't think to eat was in that. I think they threw that in there and embellished it to make themselves feel better because they still get to quench their cravings.
Indeed, indeed. I mean, I don't. To me, it's morally wrong. Like, especially the way I live now. Like, no, but at one point in my life, I have had no problem with it. I didn't see an issue with it. I thought we were supposed to do it, but I feel like I know better now. All I do is worry about what I do. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you want to eat animals, go ahead and eat animals. Most people are eating them.
And listen, and I agree, right? I don't judge people who eat them because most people who eat them don't even feel like they're doing anything wrong. And I believe genuinely it's all about intention. So if you don't intend to do anything wrong, and if this is how you have been conditioned to be and conditioned to live, and you don't believe that when you're going to a grocery store and you're purchasing a chicken, when you're purchasing chickens, when you're purchasing the processed meats, when you're processing your beef, when you're purchasing your beef, when you're purchasing your fish, when you're purchasing whatever it is that you're consuming, it's a mindless process. It's already, the hard work has been done for you. So it's not personalized. No one is actually, not no one, but most people aren't going out and buying the whole chicken, raising the whole chicken, killing the chicken, pulling off its limbs, slicing its throat, defeathering, and doing all that. Most people aren't doing that. And I know that if I personally had to do that to eat it, I wouldn't eat it.
Facts.
We about to bring Tiger on.
Tiger.
Hey, what's going on? What's going on, my people?
What's going
Hey,
on, brother? How you feeling?
So, who's making this argument about this chicken? I thought this was all settled. I thought this was just common sense by now. Like,
I don't think so. Because I put a post up saying that the human beings eat 75 billion chickens per year.
I mean, still, that shouldn't even be an argument. I mean, look at wings and look how many different forms they come in. Look how many different forms the chicken comes in. The leg, the thigh, the wings. I mean, I do DoorDash and I see all the times. I'm like, how does somebody order 80 wings and then you go to deliver to the house? It's only two people there. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I can believe that. Why
Yeah,
not?
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
But it
It
still
raised
shouldn't
the
be a
question.
conversation. Didn't
No,
then they find out that the chicken was like even a hybrid animal?
yeah, it is. It's a rat. It's a rat, cat, and a dog mix. I
Yeah,
think.
yeah.
What?
No, not the chicken. That's the pig. The
No,
pig is a rat, cat, and
it's an
dog mix.
African rooster or something mixed with something else, right?
Yeah, it's
The, the,
created by
the,
man.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So
The cow is too.
yeah. So on top of that, then it was modified after that. So how is this even a topic, especially between the fruit community? I mean, it should be done and settled. Like it's with the other animals. Like you know what I mean?
Right. Me and Lashay had the discussion earlier. We was talking. I was like, hold on though, because if you're 75 billion people eating chickens and chicken is man-made, which man made the chicken for humans to eat, and she like, well, it's still got a spirit, it got eyes, it got it live. But did God say that this food is for the humans?
I don't
Not like
know.
if you should be eating it or not, but is it for you to eat or not?
I mean, we got to go back to basics. Biologically, we're not even we're not even fit to eat that in its natural state. Again, you know what I'm saying? Unless we can get that chicken, if they made it for us, they would have made it that we can eat it straight off the farm. You know what I'm saying? You still got to kill it. It still bleeds. It's still sentient. You know what I'm saying? So I still don't see the argument. I mean, to be
No,
honest with you, you know what I mean? That's one of those common sense things. You know what I mean?
facts. You're right though. You're right. It was just a discussion to be had because at that rate, 75 billion, man. Like
I can believe it, bro.
How?
I can
Where's all
believe
the
it.
chickens coming from?
Listen, when I was a chicken eater, I would say like
Um,
7 years ago, because it took me a while, like at least 2 years to get into veganism. Chicken was my last thing, and I ate buckets of chicken by my damn self. So I can definitely see if you don't have any restrictions on your diet.
Oh, okay, so we talking 75 billion per year.
Yeah,
Where's all these
and
chickens
people are
coming from?
wasteful.
Listen,
Wingdings,
this
I
is how I
blame
know.
wingdings, man. I blame
75% of
wingdings. Those little
America,
small wingdings.
75% of America alone
Yeah,
are an accumulation of clinically obese and overweight. So both categorically overweight and obese is America, 75%. That's what the chicken is going. It's translated into volumes of people. Okay? So you have a country where one person is equivalent to 2 to 3 extra people per capita, but in weight size. And it's because they eat too much damn chicken, apparently. And that's just one animal. That's
Yeah,
not even the beef. That's not the pork. That's not the shrimp. That's not the crabs. That's not, it's just the turkey. It's
Hey,
crazy that how much animal and how much death we're consuming, and we arguing with people eating fruit. The 1% of motherfuckers on the planet eating fruit, we over here talking about that's gonna kill you. That's too much sugar. Like,
hey,
yeah.
bruh,
hey, Tiger.
I would definitely say it's the antibiotics that they pumping into it. I would say that's a big issue. You know what I mean? More than the chicken itself, I would say it's the drugs they're pumping into the chicken to make it bigger. Because,
Tiger.
like he said, they got to be. I mean, 75 billion. You got to put a speed process on that. Like, you know what I mean? I don't think there's that naturally that many chickens laying eggs. You know what I'm
Fact.
saying? They got
Fact.
to be doing something different. Like we got to start questioning what these tenders are too. These tenders and all that other stuff. You got to start questioning that. Like, is that chicken or is it? You know what I mean?
Hell no,
Like,
there
I
ain't no
don't know.
chicken. Let me ask. Hey, I said this, Tiger. Tell me, give me. I want to hear your reaction to this. Just, I'm not. I just. This not me saying this. Just, I heard this, and I want to see your reaction. I did it to Lashay the other night.
Hold on, I gotta listen.
All right, fat people shouldn't exist.
Absolutely. I was just talking about that on one of my lives. Even if you go back 30, 40, 50 years ago and you start to look at those beach pictures, that's just a beach. I know a lot of people have arguments like, oh, yeah, that's just one beach. Yeah. So just imagine that. Like, at different beaches at that time, nobody was obese. And I bet you everybody on that beach wasn't vegan. Everybody on that beach wasn't fruit eaters. You know what I'm saying?
Fact.
So even back at that time, being obese was really it 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 separated you. It was like you could tell. Like I used to crush my brother for being.
We think we lost Tiger.
you freezing, yeah.
If he don't come back on, I got to say this though. Uh, that's one thing that's fat people shouldn't exist. Is one of them things where
I don't know what happened. I
oh, go
blanked
ahead.
out for a minute.
Yeah, you
But
did.
anyway, uh, so and this is not to come at anybody but now it's like it's not only accepted, right? But it's
Glorified. Yes. I hope I finished that off for him.
Yeah, he keep freezing up.
I hope I
Um,
finished that off for him.
there he goes again.
if
Tiger.
you just want to talk about even just being thick, a thick girl, you know what I'm saying? Is that thick with muscle or is that, you know what I'm saying, a whole bunch of toxic chemicals inside of there? You know what I'm saying? Like that's stuff that I had to think about after a while. Like, man, like, you know what I mean? Like it looks good, you know what I'm saying? Because like Lashay said, that's just how we've been brought up. Like that's the trick. That's the mental trick. You know what I'm saying? It certainly does feel good, right? But is that person really healthy? You know what I'm saying? When you start eating fruit and your body starts expelling things, is all that going to go because it was not supposed to be there in the first place? You know what I'm saying? That's
Facts.
the question that we have to ask ourselves. You know what I mean? And whenever we get old, let's not forget. Whenever we start aging, the muscle deterioration is what causes us to age. Okay, the muscle. If your body cannot find, this is why I push for 90 plus minerals a day, whether it be through your food or whether it be through supplementation. If you do not have the minerals and it doesn't come from your food, okay, your body is still trying to do its thing. It's super intelligent. It's going to start taking from your muscle, okay? Every amino that you took and built into a structure of protein, it's going to start reversing that and breaking that back down and reusing that. Okay, reappropriating it. So, I really don't think. Now being a big boned it. Okay, now being a big bone, and I've known plenty of people that have big bones, more solid bones, more dense bones than others. Okay, but we're talking about waste. We're talking about fat. We're talking about cellulose. We're talking about metabolic waste from years and years of the standard American diet. You know what I'm saying? That in itself is unhealthy. When you start fasting, when you start eating right, it'll let you know that right off the gate. What's supposed to be there and what's not supposed to be there and what's not natural. Furthermore, I know people even in our group, right, that are starting to lean towards this Ozempic shot. Really pissed off at me, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm saying, hey, you should probably do it the natural way just to see how it goes. But before that, these same people was glorifying the weight. Oh, I look good with this extra weight on me. Look, I got a little booty now. Look, I got this. And when it starts to become a problem health wise, now you want to run to something unnatural to undo it. Like, what about all those people that you motivated to say it's okay what you're eating? It's okay that you overate and you gained those extra pounds over the summer. You went to those cookouts and ate all that other stuff. It's okay. No, nobody's here to judge you. But now they're turning to Ozempic. You know what I'm saying? So that tells us it's not natural. You know what I'm saying? It's not. That's just my opinion.
I just watched an interview with Anthony O'Neill and Dr. Bobby Price, and he talked about Ozempic. And I didn't know how detrimental Ozempic actually was. He literally said that he said 50% of people who take Ozempic end up with it was a specific effect. He didn't even say it was a side effect. So number one, most of them end up with gastroparesis, where their
Wow.
literal gastro, like where their literal intestinal system, their digestive system becomes like a paralysis of the digestive system, gastroparesis. He taught me that
Wow.
about that. Yeah.
I didn't know
Um,
that.
yeah. So about 50% of them end up with gastroparesis. Um, uh, Most of them end up with pancreatitis. Like really serious, like
And that's a
deathly
short period of time. This drug
symptoms.
hasn't been out long. It'd be the same people too that wouldn't get the jab. You wouldn't get the jab because it wasn't properly tested or there wasn't enough time to see the side effects or anything like that. But you go get this. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. People they choose when to they choose when to stray off and say like, all right, this is healthy, this is unhealthy because of this, because of my condition. My condition is special. This, and that. They choose uh, when to choose something in the Bible that says, oh, this happened because God said it, or choose when to say it's an allegory. You know what I'm saying? They choose this stuff. You know what I mean? But like I said, we don't really have to look that deep. We could just look to nature to see what we're supposed to be eating. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just my opinion. You know what I mean? And everybody that comes with that we're supposed to be eating animals. I mean, how much proof is it now? I mean, how much proof? I can see a couple years ago, especially when the carnivore diet was
Mm-hmm.
really heavy. You know what I'm saying? But I couldn't believe that people were just eating meat. And then we were saying, what were we saying? Oh, if you can't eat it in its cooked state, then it couldn't be eaten. So they started eating it raw, right? They
Yeah.
started eating it raw.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
See, I
saying?
think
And then
phenotype
and then you
matters.
started to see the side effects. You know what I'm saying? So now people are just now starting to back away from that. Understanding that keto and all these things are temporary. They're temporary fixes. They're not sustainable. They're not long term because they're not what we're supposed to be eating. They're just playing on our bodies, amazing bodies, ability to be able to process this stuff. Our body's
Yeah.
amazing. You know what I'm saying? If your intestines ain't working, our body could absorb things through the duodenum. You know what I'm saying? Before it even goes through the digestive process. You know what I'm saying? Fructose, we can adjust that right into the cell. Our body doesn't have just one way to process something to get what we need. It doesn't have just one way. It's several different ways, okay? And people are finding this out, but they're saying this is the way what we're supposed to do it. You know what I mean? Even the processed meat, you got to think about that. You know what I mean? How many years are we missing out that that we begin to see the process of what happens to people that ate meat. There were probably that people that were dying really quickly when they started eating meat. You know what I'm saying? But over time, over genetics, our bodies learn to be able to process this. And on top of that, there's certain species or certain cultures that can eat meat because they have a higher rate of hydrochloric acid. So they can break these things down. But I know melanated people to begin with, we don't have that high hydrochloric acid at that high rate to be able to break these things down and process it.
Yeah, see, I'm gonna interject, and that's why I was gonna bring that up, but you just answered
Yeah,
it. I was gonna challenge because I was gonna say there are phenotypes that have higher levels of hydrochloric acid and they can consume meat. And I do believe that when we're having these discussions, it's important to point out the distinction between melanated beings and Europeans,
yeah,
because Europeans have higher hydrochloric acids, so they can handle eating and
right,
consuming animal meat and animal proteins versus African Americans. African Americans, a lot of the African Americans will sit there and argue you down about consuming meat, even though they know that they have like a family history of health issues because of the
right,
high animal protein. Those are Negro peons. They want to be. They wish they could do what a lot of white people do, but to be honest, we have to be true to our phenotype. We have to be true to our own biology because we don't handle animal protein in the same way that Europeans handle. So I do feel like it isn't fair to speak in umbrella terms when it comes to meat consumption, as far as like animal proteins go, because a lot of Europeans can consume meat, but at least they process it differently. But for us, I do believe we have to learn how to get back to our natural diets.
it's true. And then even in the blue zones, if you ever heard about the blue zones,
Mm-hmm.
they eat limited meat. They eat fish. They eat some types of meat. And some of these blue zones, they're poor. They can't even afford like meat and stuff like that. They can only afford to eat what they grow. You know what I'm saying? And these people live to be 120 years old. You know what I'm saying? On average. If that's what we're talking about, if we're talking about longevity in this physical body, you know what I'm saying? Uh, yeah. Some people can live a long life eating, eating certain things. But again, if you look in these areas, they're not America. You know what I'm saying? That's just straight up. There's not as much toxicity in the water with that they eat with the fish. You know what I'm saying? There's not too much processing that goes through it. There's not a lot of pollution and stuff in that area. So you got to look at that too. You know what I'm saying? When you talk about some of the things that they eat, and even I think, you know, that it's the vegetables and stuff that they grow and the fruits and stuff that they eat that's able to to get them past that point of that hundred year mark or that 120 mark. I don't really think it has anything to do as many people have proved protein. You know what I'm saying? That's just it's secondary and tertiary protein. You know what I'm saying? And we know where the protein is really coming from. It's coming from the source. It's coming from the plants. It's coming from the herbs. It's coming from the fruits. You know what I'm saying? Those amino acid structures. Our body does the rest for us. It builds for us and it does the breaking down for us. But we need to give it the proper minerals and nutrients to be able to do that.
And he gonna come back
Doubt. It shouldn't
on
even
great.
be like a part of the discussion. You know what I'm saying? If you ask me, because that's just common sense to me. I know it's not common sense to a lot of other people. Hey, babe. But to me, it's common sense. I'm live. Sorry, guys, I got to get ready to get up out of here, man. But I appreciate y'all bringing me on, man.
Yeah, you back
I
at
know
it.
we're supposed to do. Are we on next week for the Juice Champs? Y'all know that's my show, man. Y'all playing
Indeed.
with me.
No, you on Saturday. We gonna get into it.
Saturday.
Yes,
All right,
sir.
cool. All right, I
Indeed.
appreciate y'all. Peace. Peace to
Have a good one,
everybody.
family.
Peace to everybody watching. All right.
Appreciate you hopping on.
Thanks, man.
A lot of information from Tiger Carper.
Yeah, he is a detox specialist. He knows his stuff. So I'm glad that we always get the opportunity to bring him on because he really is knowledgeable. Mary Jane Tersey had a really good comment. Um, she has stated that the blue zone people are outdoors more. And she said they're more physical and they're not stressed and they don't have the same stress that we deal with and they are living on a mountain. And I love that she brought up stress because that is real. Like we talk a lot about fruit, we talk a lot about food, we talk a lot about diet. I personally, even though I don't personally want to consume meat, I don't judge nobody for eating meat. Like, no matter what my opinions are, it doesn't mean that I'm judging anybody or I'm thinking any kind of way about them for making the choices that they make. For number one, I don't care. Ultimately, what you eat don't make me ish. Right? So you do what is best for you. I'm not judging you for it. In a survival situation, if I had to eat meat, I would. I am not a vegan. This might disappoint a lot of people who follow me. I don't eat meat, but I'm not a vegan. I am plant based. I got into this lifestyle for health reasons, not for ethical reasons, not for the welfare of the animals. The welfare of the animals, they benefit because I don't eat them. So that is just a natural consequence of me caring about my health, right? But with that being said, I was eating at the highest level at one point. Like I was fully raw. I was eating all fruits. I was eating all raw foods. I was eating nuts. I was eating seeds. And I plateaued in my health. I was still sick. I was still depressed. And it was because I did not prioritize my mental health. I was not intentional about no longer being depressed. I was not intentional about no longer being sick. And there were certain traumas and certain things that I have endured in the past that I was still running away from. There was a lot of escapism involved, and I was only making it about the food. And stress is so important. Like we ignore the fact that no matter how healthy we eat, if we're unhappy in the quality of our relationships with people surrounding us, if we are unhappy at our jobs, if we are unhappy with our lives, with where we live, with whatever it is we got going on, if it is unfaced, unmet, we will literally allow stress to kill us. Cortisol will kill us. Those stress hormones will deteriorate our state of existence faster than even some hot Cheetos. So like we got to stop acting like it's always just food. No, if you in a stressful ass relationship, if you married to somebody who's basically your enemy, who hates you, who beats on you, who talks down to you, who when you just get in their presence, your stress levels go up. You just become anxious. You just when you're in a constant state of fight or flight, period, you're not well. So I love that she said that they're low stress. They're always outside. They're always connected to nature. They do have really good quality of relationships. I'm sorry, but like health is not a monolith. Health is holistic. It's not only what you eat.
That's why I get up and do it every day at a high level. Work on the mindset, work on the body, work on the spirituality, talking to God. All of that is essential to your health. So it's not one focus on one or more than the other. It's getting balanced with it all. And that's the process. That's the journey. That's what you're gonna go through. So until you master all of it, you haven't until you mastered all of it, that's what you're working towards.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what
Yeah.
I'm doing.
So are we ending it there?
Yeah, I gotta get up out of here. Um, great pop up, great pop up. Thanks for having me on the platform. You got to bring me on to do an official interview.
Absolutely. You got to be on Betterism.
Fact.
Um, but it's been a while since I popped in on here. I do have another show coming up this upcoming Tuesday. I'll be having Dr. Labash. She is a medical doctor. She is board certified. She's
Fire.
based out in Atlanta. She focuses on holistic medicine. She's actually also doing the watermelon washout, super high level. She's on like 80 days of
Yeah.
all watermelon. And I've already seen a little bit of her transformation. It's powerful. And I love that she's a doctor. You know what I mean? Like when doctors start mono eating, we start shifting the paradigm in this world because a lot of people only listen to the doctors. But if the doctors are only trained and only kind of like mentally geared towards talking about pharmaceuticals, that's all you're going to get. So it's nice that we're finally starting to get more holism in this conventional medicine space. So you guys, please tune in this upcoming Tuesday. Also, just one more thing. Thursday, I'll be with Mr. Marcus Juice Doc Hart. I will be a guest on his platform. So if you are interested in a dope collaboration between me and Marcus, Marcus is absolutely amazing. If you do not follow him, for number one, you need to be. He is, I think, like over 200 plus days of nothing but high watery fruit. He's on a true and genuine cleansing and detoxification journey. He's super powerful, and I can't wait to be on his
Yeah.
platform and have a powerful discussion with him. So this upcoming Thursday, we're going to be doing that.
Next Thursday, it's crazy. Next Thursday, Marcus is a guest speaker inside the Fruit Up to Five Zoom meeting VIP.
Oh,
So
fire.
he moving. Shouts out to Marcus Juice Doc Hart. That's my brother. Make sure y'all tune into that. Look at me about to take over. Get out here. Food up. Fruition.
Yeah, he gonna be on the Juice Champs pretty soon too,
Facts.
because he
Very
is
high
his
level.
information is just on a whole nother level.
Also, a reminder, if you come in on Juice Champs, we will be pushing the envelope. We will be asking you some tougher questions. So whoever want to get on Juice Champs, just know that it's not gonna be the same. We're gonna be raising the bar, we're gonna be pushing the envelope, and we're gonna be getting some real discussions high level. So I appreciate you, family. Marcus Duzak, I appreciate you, brother, for real. Lashay, awesome. Thank you for having me on. I'll pop up with you anytime.
Absolutely. Thank you everybody for tuning in. I love you. I appreciate you. We always gonna bring it on the Betterism podcast. And yeah, how I always end it. The Betterism is just always we focus on being better at being better. I love you. Bye.
Fruit up.